knew this was going to be a hard journey joining FDJ1, but I was not prepared about how frustrating this weekend was going to be. My start to the season has definitely been an emotional roller coaster to say the least. But you guys know me. I love drifting too much to give up. And I think this really marks a turning point for us.
Ohayou gozaimasu! Feeling much better today. We somehow hurt my back yesterday. To be fair, I think it was just a K-van suspension and a long 10 hours worth of driving, and I pinched a nerve. I couldn't do anything. Luckily, good night's sleep, I'm feeling good again. My back is still 18 years old. That's great. In other news, I just spent a bunch of time on the belt issue, and I promise you, I'm coming up with a really good solution with that. I've been talking to Brad Dan, and I think it's time we went to electric water pump and just completely deleted the lameness of the current pulley setup. So we're gonna fix all of that, and it'll be much more efficient. And I think at the same time, just to make things easier, I'm gonna go to a really good mechanical power steering setup and just hope that that also helps a little bit with some stuff too. The electric stuff's fine. I just think we'll use the same setup that everyone else has been using. That way we don't overcomplicate things, and if I have any issues, I can ask questions and people will know. It's the main thing that I'm really focusing on, is keeping everything simple, but also interchangeable. You know, stuff like we just upgraded the alternator to a DC power one, and the high amperage alternators use this different kind of LS style plug. I can't get it off, but the problem with that, there's nothing wrong with that in America. But in Japan, no one runs these. And if they do, very rare. So if for some reason my alternator stops working, which I doubt because it's a nice DC power one, but if it does, my friends are all gonna have either stock rebuilt ones or Kazuma ones which use the OEM plug. So I made a little patch harness here, and it took me forever to actually work out what plug this is. The plug on these alternators is actually the same that's used in the Toyota for fog lights. These little bulbs that you buy, this plug here is the same. It's just a 3-pin plug. Interesting. That's the same on the fog light bulbs or whatever. Anyways, so I found the male version of that and made a little patch harness that goes to the bigger high amperage. It's like an LS3 plug, I think. But yeah, anyways, that way, if ever there's an issue, we can quickly switch in just a stock one and just plug it straight into the harness. So many things like that will get you caught up in competition where you just have something that no one else has and you're screwed because you can't just borrow it off someone else's car. But yeah, that's pretty much it. Just been focusing on doing stuff like that, and I think that's the move. The electric power steering is really, really good. I'm not done with this. I'll use this in another car, but I think moving forward, we just need to step up our game a little bit and make sure that we're all running good stuff that, yeah, the belt issue's been driving us insane because at certain RPMs, if the belt slips, we lose voltage. It's just how it works. Belt things! I don't even know what I'm talking anymore. I need my coffee. I'm so out of it right now.
Good morning, Daiki.
Hi.
How are you?
So.
I love Japan, but for this little thing.
A few moments later.
It's just all melting.
Ren's leaving.
It's not bad.
Is it actually? Yeah.
It's practice day for FDJ1 here at Suzuka, and I wasn't lying when I said that J1 made a lot of sense for me because of seat time, because this proves it. This is an entire day for us to practice before the qualifying day, and we even get another half a day before qualifying to practice. We are restricted to a certain amount of laps though, but it means that it's nice, relaxed, and dragged out, so we get to keep assessing my laps and going backwards and forwards and trying to work out how to improve. It's seriously amazing, and this was definitely something that we were not going to get in J2.
やばい、多分ベルト取れちゃうよ。ベルトない。はい、今ピットします。Yes.
And just like that, anything can go wrong with competitive drifting.
Push the car in ASAP, I'm overheating. My belter fell off.
Unfortunately, my brand new alternator, the bolt on the pulley was not torqued correctly, I guess, when it came from the factory. So when I put it on the car, I just assumed that it was all good to go, but it came off, the pulley came off, the belt came off, the belt got damaged, the pulley got damaged, and we had to change to my spare used alternator and belt. And this unfortunately meant that we were going to have some issues for the rest of the competition. Nonetheless though, we got back out and I got straight back into practicing.
It's really hard to explain what's happening, but I'm getting a fair bit of steering bind at like the worst time, and I'm trying to figure out what's causing it.
This was one of my better practice runs, and I want you to pay attention to, after the entry here, we hit zone 1 there, and now zone 2, and then boom, I kind of let go of the wheel to let it steer itself, but that was actually because of a bunch of understeering issues, and this is because the track's getting hot, and I have a fair bit of pressure in the front end to combat the steering bind issue. So I decided to lower the pressures in the front again, and just put up with the binding.
What is it at now, 2.5? Today's qualifying day. We've already had our last few practice laps and we are going into qualifying in probably the next 10 to 15 minutes. I'm actually really enjoying today because things are moving very, very quickly for us. I feel somewhat comfortable on the track. It's very technical. I'm definitely not driving the perfect line, but I think we're driving enough to get decent points. Definitely the seat time that we're getting out of this. I think being the second round of J1, I've already gotten more seat time and more laps out of the comp car than I did in the entire series of FDJ2, which is wild to think about. That aside though, we're gonna go out there and we're gonna do our best.
And here you go. Speaking of the devil, we are looking at car number 11. It's Sam Lucas from Team SAMMIT, driving the S15 Sylvia. Clean entry there, getting deep into the outside zone 2. Good job right there. Might be hanging it a little bit too much at the outside zone 3. To cut in a little for the touch and go. Now it really depends on how the judges are going to see that. I know from the run that they saw Naoki earlier, I'm not sure what they're going to say.
I straightened, I think. It was very hard. I think they're gonna give me a 0. Oh, that was a good run up until that moment.
Unfortunately, that's going to be an incomplete for Sam Lucas's first run. Hey, but you know what? He looked like he was hitting all the marks that he needed up to that touch and go area. So looking forward to seeing how he's going to do for a second run.
god.
Let's see what SAMMIT can do. Dipping a little bit on the outside zone 2. Not as deep at outside zone 3, but comes out really strong going to the touch and go. Has a hard time filling the touch and go. Flicks it. And cannot make it out to the outside zone 4 as well.
Not good. Oh man, that sucked. Oh man, I did my best. I really hurt my hand again. God, that entry. Oh. And it just threw me off for the rest of the track.
Just keep going. Just keep going. Just keep going. It's fine. You had angle.
Yeah, he did miss some of the zones and stuff like that, but I'm pretty sure he'll be giving a better explanation on that run. So go check out his channel. So Sam Lucas with the 54.
We didn't qualify. You know what that means? We get to have awkward interviews with everyone in the pits. Let's go. Hey, Echo, how you doing?
Hi.
I really didn't want to leave you behind, so I think we scored like almost the same.
Really? I got double zeros.
Oh, okay, I got 54.
Good. Congratulations.
Anyways, do you want to tell us, how was your day today?
Sucked so much.
How was your car?
Great.
You guys, I don't know if I said this in the video, but you had the hardest day today. Engine popped, had to change the engine out, then the drive shaft popped.
And then NOS didn't work.
And then NOS wasn't, wait, you have NOS on this?
Yes.
Well, there you go. Anyways, yeah, not a great day.
No.
Anything you want to say to the camera?
Follow my Instagram. Please type it here.
Oh, she needs some love. All right, but next round we're coming back strong. Ebisu. You coming to Ebisu?
Yes.
I'm gonna rent out the track. It's okay.
Yeah?
It's my home track, so you know. We don't get to drive Ebisu long that much, but I think if we rent it out for like 2 whole days and we just keep practicing it, I think it'll be really good. I'll let you know. Yeah. Daniel Mesmer will be there, some FDJ2 drivers will be there. I think it'll be good. We'll do 2 days non-stop. We all need that. Your work wheels don't though. You gotta send me that clip so I can throw it in here.
Oh, okay. Interview now.
Don't put that in my mouth. What do you want to ask me, Steve? What do you want to ask? Hey, Steve, how does it feel to not have to fix my cars anymore?
Wow, it's nice for me. Thank you, bro.
No worries. Anything you want to say today to the camera?
What's happened today?
I didn't qualify.
What? No
Sorry.
way.
Yeah.
No.
Well, he's so good at acting. He's so good at acting like he didn't know. That scares me.
Why, bro?
Why?
What happened?
Just driver skill. Need a little bit more driver skill.
Yeah.
Also, my when I lowered the tire pressure, my tires got stuck on the coilover, so it locked up on entry.
Hitting.
Yeah. So we'll fix it for next round, and I'll get a lot of practice at Ebisu. We'll rent out BC for like 2 days.
Next round. Yeah, it is next round.
Because you know I have a great history of qualifying there too.
You need to qualify there.
I know, I need to.
No?
Yeah, otherwise you'll beat me up.
Yes, definitely.
One of the youngest drivers now driving in Formula Drift Japan is Numa. You guys might remember him from FDJ2. We battled once, and my diff left the chat. How are you today?
Good.
Good? Yeah. How's the car? Very good? How's it feel to be driving Kunta's old car?
Yes.
Yes? Yes.
For what?
Juichi? He got 11th place today. I got 35th. Sanjugo. Next time. Next time. So we're here with another world famous driver. He's back in the driver's seat. How you doing, Mr. Nishida? How's it feel to be back driving in Formula Drift Japan?
This car is boring.
These cars are actually awesome.
I mean, I just linked the whole thing.
Yeah,
Almost.
really? That easy? They're automatic, right?
That's automatic.
And they're left-hand drive.
Dude, I think I like left-hand drive better.
Really?
Yeah.
You were just born on the other side of the world, though.
Well, I mean, I drove it. I drove comp and left-hand drive for the first time.
So that makes sense.
Used to it, yeah.
Look at these cars, guys. So this is part of like the Advan Yokohama experience here. And you can come and be a VIP at Formula Drift Japan and you get to get a passenger ride in these things. Look at them. Bright seats everywhere in the front and the rear. Look at this. What an experience. I'm not sure about legroom here. You gotta be really small to fit in there. But still, very, very cool. I'm sure if you slide the seats forward, it'll be okay. Automatic drift cars. Maybe we can find out if we can take them for a rip. 자, kanpai. 오疲れ様です. Exactly what I needed after a day like today. We are back at the shop and we're completely unloaded. You can see the FD car behind me. And in hindsight, after it's been a good day after the comp, I want to go over and explain everything to you guys because I didn't do a great job filming. And I mean, the easiest thing is I take these comps very seriously and it's just not in my brain or mindset to kind of film everything in chronological order. May does do an amazing job holding the camera and trying to shoot as much as possible, but we mainly just focus on B-roll and kind of telling the story of voiceover and stuff like that after the fact, which is why normally after FD days these at the moment, we kind of have a couple days break to kind of recoup and whatnot. But main issues that we faced other than driver mod is we were having a bunch of steering bind issues when we lowered the tire pressures to deal with the hot track and not being able to warm up our front tires enough in the burnout box. And that's just because they don't give you much time. But when we would lower the tire pressure in the front, that makes the tire wider under compression, right? Because it's lower PSI. And we were starting to run into issues where when the suspension would compress, my tire would come in contact with the coilover. You might not actually be able to see it from that angle. Maybe from this one, you can kind of see it where it's been rubbing on the spring there. It's super hard actually. Oh, there you go. You can see it there. So there was that. And then also we were hitting the body there. I put masking tape on the body there to see if it would hit, and you can see that it rubbed it off and rubbed on the body. So we were definitely hitting the body there. And I think if we had an extra 5 mil of space or something like that to bring it off, we would have been okay. So that's what I think what the binding issue was. And then you could also hear in the video the belt squealing. That's also because we had to go to my backup alternator, which is just a stock one, and we had to go back to the old belt because I didn't have any other new belts of the particular size that we found that worked better with this setup, and it was slipping. The alternator was then losing voltage after entry, which of course then means my electric power steering was having issues. Even though it's getting direct power from the battery as well, it's a voltage drop which causes a little bit of issue when you are at full lock, which is probably also why a lot of people use 2 of those to combat those kinds of issues. And obviously they don't use the stock water pump, and they have an entirely different belt setup. Just something that we need to go and look at now that we've found this issue, and it's really caused an issue. What's crazy though is it's taken us this long to kind of like really figure that out. And at the end of the day, there's really nothing else it could be. Looking at the ECU logs, saw the voltage drops with the belt slip, and you can hear it in the video when on those entries when I was having steering, binding, and locking issues. Now, I'm no stranger to having any kind of binding issues. It's just something that you get used to drifting with certain types of setups. When you change tracks, you may have just depending on the way the track is and how your entry and your suspension loads up and all that type of stuff. You may not have an issue on a certain track, but then another track you might have an issue, and that's where you got to change things, right? So I'm kind of used to having binding issues with either bad angle kits or just suspension tweaks that needed to be done for the track. That aside, though, the biggest issue was that because of the binding issue and me having to kind of like reset the steering wheel and refit back and whatnot, I was staying in zone 2 too long, which would then mess up the rest of my run, which would then mean I would be in zone 3 too long and then mess up the touch and go. And it was kind of like just compounding the issue. The other thing though is that I have injured my hand quite badly.
about 4 weeks ago, and it's been 4 weeks already and still hasn't fully healed. Can't actually press on these two fingers without pain. Even just now, it's quite painful. And if I put any pressure on like this side of my palm, it's really painful. Started doing some wheel nuts with a massive breaker bar on the abandoned 32 out the front because we needed to borrow the wheels off it when we shuck into the Skyline. And they were stuck on there, and I put all my body weight on it, and as I kind of pressed up and lifted my legs off the ground to put all my body weight on it and hope that it would crack, it did crack, but all the shock went into my hand, and then my hand also smashed on the ground with all of my body weight, right on this part of the palm. And that bruised the bone very, very bad. It was so painful, I thought I broke it. We went and got x-rays, but the doctor said it was just bruised, fortunately, but it still was bruised so bad that he said it's gonna take 4 to 6 weeks to heal. So when I would get the steering bind issue and I'm on e-brake, my only hand available is my right hand, the injured one, and that also was an issue where I couldn't react as fast. But yeah, that aside though, otherwise it's just driver mod. Once we fix those things, I just need more seat time, more practice, and getting more and more comfortable in those environments. It's all just pretty much from here, more practice, hard work, making sure my mind and body is sound, and making sure we're good to start qualifying and start actually battling against the pros. One thing is, once we get past the qualifying line and we start doing well there, we're then going to really start focusing on learning how to tandem really well with this kind of platform. Tandeming with that is so much easier, or just driving that is so much easier than that. We're talking about almost, 2.5 times the power and grip. It's so different. And even the same with, the 15 and stuff. Tandeming or doing any kind of driving with this is mild, like insane. I don't even know how to describe like how different it is. It's insanely different. And I keep telling people my favorite car to drive at the moment is this car because I learn so much every time I drive it. Like I said at the start of this journey, guys, when we joined J1, I'm not driving this expecting to get podium. I would like podium, but we got to be realistic. I joined this for seat time. It makes the most sense financially. It makes the most sense to improve as a driver. I'll be the first person to say I'm not the best driver there. I'm probably the worst, but I'm there because I'm throwing myself in the deep end to learn and try to become the best. And I think that's the best way to do it. And like I said, that's why we're there. We're not there to win yet. As much as I like that, like obviously going to competitions to try to win, but I know I'm not going to, and it's unrealistic for that to happen until everything kind of falls into place and I feel comfortable. Well, I already kind of feel comfortable behind the wheel. I don't really have nerve issues anymore, which is amazing. It's just trying to level up and get the skill up to meet the judges' expectations. And then once we get past qualifying, which I'm pretty sure we're right on the line there once we figure that out and get the car dialed, those few little issues that have just compounded everything, we will be good. That aside though, thank you for watching. Like, comment, share, subscribe. Thank you so much to each and every one of you that is a part of this journey and believes in me. At the same time, I do want to let you know that we are about to drop our brand new Team SAMMIT merch pack, which will be coming. I think keep an eye out for it in the next video. But yeah, thank you guys. I appreciate you. And yeah, this journey is definitely an emotional one, but I am learning so much. Thank you so much.